Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Olympians of all ages, welcome back to 1933. Am I muted? I'm muted for you. I'm muted for you guys. I'm not muted for the people that count. The audience, the YouTube, the Twitchers out there. We are back. The Olympians that you see before you have survived somehow from the perils of season 1. Where they are they anywhere? Are they back from nowhere? Well, that remains to be seen. But until we actually see where we are, we will reminisce on the past. Allison, what are your thoughts on the character that was Kate O'Callahan?
Hey everybody, it's Allison, and I play Caitlin Jane O'Callahan, aviatrix extraordinaire, princess of the skies, America's flying sweetheart. And I don't know, Greg, I just feel like she kicked so much ass in season 1 that she's probably feeling pretty confident about what you've got lined up for the next few weeks. I think.
Yeah, pride before the fall, I guess. But hey, yeah. To each their own.
Bring it.
You know, whatever you'd like. Lauren, you just bestowed some tremendous gift to the Olympians and myself. It is fantastic. It will be revealed, I'm assuming, after the show or maybe during the show. I'm
a wonderful person.
You think that you are, and that's a great thing. How is Sabella Ives, and what did you think of the character when you played her?
Ugh, this is how it's going to be now. That's great. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm that salty ginger on Twitter, and I play present tense Miss Sabella Marie Ives of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore in the beautiful Lower East Side of Manhattan. And she is feeling, just fine. She's bleeding from several orifices, but feeling pretty chipper about it, as I always am on Sunday nights in 1933. Greg.
That's where we believe we are, is 1933, here on a Sunday night in 2018. But let's go over to Steven, our resident sniper. Steve, how did you like playing Dwight Burke? What would you think back fondly on him?
I'm ready to rock. I feel healthy. I feel ready to go. Let's bring it. Dwight Burke is ready to go. He doesn't feel hurt. He doesn't feel shot. It's been several months apparently later. He's healed up and ready to go.
That's a good story. It's a beautiful fable that we should all probably sit down and read before we drift off to sleep. Strider, Elijah Sawyer. What did you think about playing him?
I played Elijah Sawyer, a charming southern gentleman con man with a silver tongue and pearl teeth. He was in fact so charming that not even death nor our keeper could help but become infatuated with him. I'm sure there's no way Greg could ever be willing to kill him off.
It's not something that I would do. I would have to think about it a bit. There would definitely be 2 or 3 seconds of great deliberation before I killed off someone I like as much as Elijah. But let's go over to Lindy. Lindy, Dr. Greta, what did you think about playing her?
Oh, she was awesome. She was a very much different person than I am, for sure, in her lack of enthusiasm about most things. Hi, however, I'm super pumped for season 2 of Pulp Cthulhu, and hope that Greta gets some good character development going on.
Character development for Greta. That would be nice. We would have to have some downtime for that, and you'd have to survive for that.
I would. Those are 2 very contingent things on character development.
Thank you, Raven. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm toying with the idea. We might end the stream here in about 30 or 40 seconds. We'll see, though. But let's get a recap on what happened at the season finale, the season 1 finale for these Olympians. Miss Sabella Ives.
What?
Take it away.
Oh boy. All right. Season finale, kids. Well, the Olympians were in the beautiful island nation of Borneo. We had just a great time there, running from a madman who was trying to hunt us while we tried to find a special little girl named Ruby Foster with healing powers. Oh, there was also a deadly disease. That was real fun. Kate may or may not have it if we still have bodies. Who knows? It's a great time here. So we found the little girl that Elijah was having visions of. We all, went into a fun purple cloud place when someone threw what we thought was a stick of dynamite to blow up a big old hair monster. And I put us back together somehow. That was fun. It was good. And then we managed to find little Miss Ruby Foster up near a cave. Her aunt was there, very, very ill. And the hunter was there, and it was all just coming together at the perfect moment. It was going real well. And Claire Foster helped us go home after Dwight got shot twice by a big old elephant gun. And the hunter can levitate and may not be real. Franklin died. That was a good time. And then we were setting this big fancy machine that was going to take us home to New York City. And then guess what? It didn't. And it was great. And nobody was confused or upset at all. Good times.
If I had a nickel.
Okay, so yeah, that's an excellent recap. But if the machine didn't take you back home, where did it take you?
Nowhere.
Right. And what happened in nowhere?
Oh, we were being torn apart, like the very idea of us. That was
Florida.
It's just outside Tampa. But no, yes, the Olympians were floating in a vast sea of purple, as they watched one another slowly drift apart. And if you caught us last week, I will pick up the recap, as you were able to see the former Olympians of Project Kronos as they were conscripted or perhaps driven by fate to go on and achieve one last mission in which they were able to reactivate a dormant machine in one of the Nazis' secret bases in Iceland underneath a volcano. They were able to seemingly draw the Project Athena Olympians out of the purple universe, replacing their souls with their own. But that is a story for another time, one that will surely be told. But this is a story for now. This is a story of Project Athena. This is a story of 1933. This is a story of heroes. And this story starts again. Everyone roll a Constitution check for me, please.
Okay.
regular success for me.
And a fail for Kate.
Elijah is starting the season off right with a success.
Critical success.
Okay, so as a critical trumps anything you could possibly do in a D100 system, Lindy, Dr.
yes.
Greta von Krauss, feels herself in the purple universe. She feels herself losing control. She feels, perhaps the most terrifying aspect of all of this is she feels as if she is being touched by a mind larger than her own, by a being that does not consider her own thoughts, as this ooze drips everywhere. And the next moment you are pulled from this place, everything goes black, and you wake up, and there in front of you is a rhinoceros.
Huh. Interesting. Look, do I appear to be in some sort of enclosure, or am I on like the African savannah?
You can roll spot hidden for me. You're kind
yes,
of
please.
bleary-eyed, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is disconcerting. That is a fail.
Okay, so once again, the spot hidden in this respect isn't the ability to discern where you are. It's the amount of time it takes for you to discern where you are. And after a few moments, you realize that there is, in fact, several bars between you and this rhinoceros. And as you kind of pull yourself up off the ground and look around, you realize that you are in a almost completed habitat. And you see that you are surrounded by a forest and that there is a clear starlit sky above you. Hints of dawn. You can see that the sky is beginning to brighten a bit, but it is clear and it is cool.
Is there anybody else around bleeding out or anything?
You can roll another spot hidden for me.
Okay. Oh!
You kind of pull yourself up to a sitting position and you look around and you see arrayed in about a 25, 30-yard pattern around you. The rest of the Olympians appear to be slumbering, unconscious. In Dwight's, just with that type of roll, Dwight might be dead. You're not sure. He looks really bad, but they're all there.
Okay, well, Dwight was definitely the worst person when she last checked, so she's gonna kind of like pull herself together and crawl over there. Medical attention and all that.
Okay, and based on the prior Constitution roll that Dwight was able to maintain, somehow, despite everything, Dwight Burke's eyes are open as he is staring up into the lightening sky.
Oh, he's
as you get
definitely
over to
dead
him.
sin. No, just...
Do I have consciousness?
Yes, you are awake.
Ah, where are we?
We are in some type of enclosure. There is a complete habitat, and do not mind the rhinoceros over there. It is behind bars. Now hold still. You are bleeding everywhere.
Can I move even?
I would not advise it until I put some bandages on and stop some bleeding.
I will listen to the doctor.
Yeah, anything you want to do that isn't just lying there, you're going to have to make a con check for me. So if you're just going to lie there...
I'm going to lie there, yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, I need a first aid or a medicine check from you, Greta, as you are finally able to get your hands on the sniper as he is devastated in front of you.
Yeah, he's like the one that I get along with really well. So let's see. Let's do a first aid because that seems more applicable to his immediate plight. No, damn it.
Can I help her anyway?
I'm gonna use 4 luck. That's not that bad.
Okay. So with the expenditure of 4 luck in here, the 7th edition of Call of Cthulhu, Pulp Cthulhu, you are able to give Dwight Burke 1 hit point back as you stabilize his condition and keep him from getting colder and not older.
Yeah. So you can move a bit now. I will have to give you more medical attention later, but now you won't die. So this is good.
Oh, thank you. I mean, he's probably in and out of consciousness. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Let's see.
Probably not quite sure what's going on.
Is Ruby and Bali here too?
You do not see them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun. All right. Yeah, I guess Greta will just check on the next closest Olympian and just be like, "Are you alive? Are you alive?"
Tell me who you're going to, and each person that you're going to, if you did not succeed on your prior Constitution roll, you must make another.
She'll go to Elijah next.
Elijah did succeed, so I think he's waking up.
Was he injured?
He is at full health.
Okay.
As he often is after crazy shit goes down. Is he awake now, Greg?
Yes, he is.
Greta, darling, where are we?
We are in some type of enclosure. Do not mind the rhinoceros. It is behind bars.
Enclosure?
Yeah, there is a habitat here. It is here.
Did that Frank Buck wannabe capture us?
I do not know if we were in some purple group. Now we are not. And don't mess with...
I ain't nobody's pet.
But
He's going to cup his hands around his mouth and start yelling, I am not domesticated, Mr. Lancaster.
I
I
don't-
will pee on everything in here.
I don't think he has captured us, but it is possible, so just be aware. I'm going to check on the others. You seem to be fine.
I'm always fine. And Ruby,
I do not see her, nor
looking around,
the Junge.
seeing what he can see and gathering his
Yeah,
bearings.
he wants to roll a spot hidden. Please do so.
Nah.
Yeah, he's still so out of it. The trauma of the situation, his own mental state after Borneo, the translocation. He's dizzy at this point. Who's next on the hit list, Greta?
We'll hit, let's see, Isabella likes touching. We'll hit Kate.
And I failed the first Constitution roll.
Yep, so make a note. Yep, there you go.
Hard success. Kate shakes her head and immediately puts both her hands to her temples. And then rolls over on her side and throws up.
Oh, well, you are alive. That is good.
Oh, doctor, are we back? Are we home?
We are somewhere. Yeah, that is not purple goo. It is good. Is Kate injured at all? Does she look bleeding?
She's not. Full health.
She'll just be like, I will let you deal with that. You seem fine. And she will go check out. Oh, do not mind the rhinoceros. It is behind bars.
Is Greta wearing her gloves?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
We'll check on the plague in a moment. And I'll go over to Isabella.
Sabella's little green eyes flutter open, and she kind of wipes away some of the crusty blood that's probably still on her face. And she looks up into Greta's face and says, you know, I really used to like the color purple, Dr. Von Krause. I don't like it so much anymore.
Well, yeah. All right.
I look very good in it, though. I'll show you when we get home. Where are we?
We'll take your word for it. We are in some sort of a habitat.
Particularly lavender, if I'm being specific.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Habitat?
Yeah, there's a rhinoceros over there, but it is behind bars, and everyone seems to be alive, so that is good.
Are the kids here?
I have not seen them. 9.
No, she wouldn't be.
I have the periodic pack, Greg. I grabbed it before we teleported. Do I still have it?
You look around desperately for a second, kind of realizing that there was, in fact, something that was kicked to you by Claire Foster right before. And as you pulled it close to you, you realize it was not in your grasp when you woke up. But just off underneath a bush is the 2x2 square that is the periodic pack.
I will go retrieve it. Perhaps you should look for the kinder.
Does this look like it's what am I trying to say here? Like it's a legitimate zoo, or that we're somewhere outside, like we can see the sky? Is that
give me a spot hidden and I'll tell you just how much you're able to discern from.
Okay. No.
Yeah, you're not real sure. It looks like, you definitely look like you're in some type of designed habitat, but you appear to be in the middle of a forest somewhere.
I still got a little crust right there, so I can't see too well.
Kate's up on her feet now and walking around to the other members of the team just to kind of get a look and make sure everybody's okay. She's over with Dwight immediately just to check in. Mr. Burke, that was one of the stupidest things I think I have ever seen, and I probably owe you my life for it. Thank you.
Apparently, Dwight is still, he's kind of like, he's kind of her hand and like holds it like, at any time, always, and he's falls probably back out of conscious if he's about at 3 hit points.
Stop touching!
Yeah, I
It's
wouldn't.
done already. Well, he's already done it, so it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't have let him touch me.
Yeah, just for everybody's positioning, Kate and Dwight have pulled each other through different places several times, so there has been contact just to...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Well, now that you mention it, I suppose.
hey, if I'm not already dying, let's get there.
I got to get you one way or the other.
I will. I don't know. I'm gonna start moving around, trying to get
Elijah's
a sense
over
of where we are.
far walls of the enclosure, and he's hitting, if there are bars, he's hitting the bars or smacking the wall, just looking around, seeing what he sees.
Right. Okay, Strider, as soon as Elijah is able to move himself over and kind of spread out a bit from the initial point that you guys kind of settled in, you're able to figure out that this is what appears to be a zoo under construction. There are pathways, there appear to be like habitat walls that are used for viewing and observation. There's even a few bears. You see some swans, some ducks, some things like that. And as you're walking, and as all of you kind of are taking in your area, the sky continues to lighten as dawn begins to take its hold over the night. And you realize that surrounding the forest, as a secondary forest, you see high-rise buildings around the periphery of this space.
I think that machine did its job.
That's funny. I mean, we said it just right. I want to be very clear that we said it very accurately.
Perhaps there is a transitionary phase in the purple goo.
Where there's buildings, there are hospitals and doctors, friends. Greta, no offense, but perhaps we should get our sniper to a facility.
Greg, before the stars fade too much, can I take a look up and see what I can tell, maybe with an astronomy roll?
Yeah, astronomy, navigate, whatever you're trying to do, I will allow.
Oh.
So what are you trying to do? And I'll let you know before you just roll and just say, what are you trying
shit?
Right. What are you trying to do? And all.
Well, I'm trying to get a navigational fix, I suppose. See if I can figure out where we are. But if I'm doing that by the stars, might also tell me a little bit about when we are.
Yeah, sure. If you, depending upon the success of your navigate roll, I will give you information.
Okay, just a regular success.
It's difficult to tell exactly where you are because going by your season, you would assume that this doesn't make sense because in March, you shouldn't see these type of stars. It's off. It almost looks like summer on the East Coast, or if you're kind of trying to extrapolate just from the data that you have with, the forest and the buildings around you, it looks off. But you can't, because of that roll, you're not able to completely pinpoint exactly when or where you are.
Something ain't right here, folks.
Are the high-rise buildings, do we look like we're in the Bronx or Manhattan?
As the light gets going a bit, it looks more and more like you are in Central Park.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Something's not right, Captain. Since when has anything ever been right with us?
That's a great point.
Well, I would love to get out of here. I do not like zoos or cages or really anything like that. So I guess we shouldn't go back to the bookstore if we've got a deadly contagious disease. Maybe
The white groans a little bit.
We should probably, since we have some of our people infected, we should get to some sort of communication device and get a quarantine in place. This would be very bad to let loose in New York City.
Right. Well, I guess let's start walking till we get to a payphone.
Okay, what would you like to do with Dwight?
Oh
Ugh.
boy.
Why don't y'all go find some help? Let me sit here with Dwight, since the two of us are. If I've got it, he's got it. But I think that's all of us at this point. So why don't you just leave the two of us here? I'll keep an eye on him. You get some help.
Alrighty.
Okay, so who's going and who's staying?
Greta
I'm
will
going.
It's
Me
just
and Doc.
Elijah's gonna go as well.
Yay.
Dwight and I are staying.
Okay, so as Cato Callahan and the sniper Dwight Burke kind of settle in here in the grass in the enclosure that will eventually be, at the start of 1934, the Central Park Zoo. It is now under construction as Sabella Ives, Dr. Greta Von Krause, and Elijah Sawyer begin to work their way out of the Grand Park. And I'd like the three that are leaving to roll listen checks for me, please.
Oh boy!
I love rolling.
Oh!
And Rolling loves you.
Yes, all the blood is out of my ears, Greg.
I mean, if it's not throwing, it's listening.
It's not.
And if you need someone to either throw and or listen, well, Sabella Ives is your person. What ends up happening is, as you are walking out, Sabella, you are the first to hear, "Get your paper right here. Today's news. Get them right here." As you are walking out of the park, this voice becomes louder and louder. You know, "Herald right here. Today's Herald. Yours for a nickel." Yep.
I want to grab because Dr. Von Krause doesn't like to be touched. Neither does Elijah. Oh, this is great. I instinctively try to grab their like sleeves on their jackets to like, come on. I'm very excited. But as soon as I realize that, I will just awkwardly put my hands down and run ahead.
Okay. The other two, are you running with her in glee towards the sound of a voice, or are you walking casually towards the sound of a voice?
Don't touch anyone. We all need to be in quarantine.
Yes.
Elijah is strutting casually and
Greta's not right.
elegantly like a cat.
This is what happened last time when I got separated. You might run with me. That is the same thing.
Maybe someone should just run ahead.
Sabella, I thought you learned your lesson last time.
No, I did not. That was fine. That
Evidently.
went really well for me.
Okay, so after a few seconds, minutes, moments, Sabella, you pull out of the edge or the periphery of Central Park. You start to see the streets beyond and the buildings beyond. And there at the corner, entering into one of the many entrances into the park, you see a boy selling newspapers as he is crying out, and occasionally people are walking over. It's very sparse traffic, not dense at all yet. But he's selling. You see him pick up, push two papers to people that are coming by. And he seems to have a stack of them beside of him, and he is selling them.
Do I have my bag?
You all have everything you went in with. The only things that did not make the trip are the Thompson that was shot by the grease guns there. The Thompson did not make it. I went back and reviewed that.
We have everything else.
Everything else that you guys carried with you, the periodic pack, anything else that was brought with you from Borneo that you've been carrying on your person has made it.
Great.
Every corner.
Elijah's gonna walk up to the he's not even gonna take one, just look down at the little stack of newspapers and see if he can spy a date and maybe a name he recognizes or a location.
Sure, I will give you the headline and the date. The headline says "Year Without Summer," and it is the New York Herald, and the date is July 27th, 1933.
Well, Dr. Greta, it looks like you weren't that far off.
Well, I assume since I was up there so early, I've just been looking at it. and nodding. And then I look at Elijah and I look at Dr. Von Krause. What? What?
This is hardly the weirdest thing that's happened to us in the last 24 hours, Sabella.
For some reason, I disagree with you.
Could have been in a coma in the purple stuff. But first thing is first, we need to get a quarantine. I look for a phone, like a phone booth, anything.
Yeah, there seems to be a phone box about 2 blocks down on
Okay.
the Central Park side. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to that.
Walking over with Greta,
Yeah.
I'm not going to interrupt her while she's on the phone, but he will say, maybe the quarantine isn't our first order of operations here. There is a certain angry, glowy, fiery man that was expecting my presence.
Oh,
Who paid my bills? Who?
maybe Chuck paid your bill.
Sabella, your bookstore might not even be there.
Fair.
Okay.
How far away is her bookstore from here?
It's on the Lower East Side.
I don't know New York City at all.
It is.
I am from
south.
Deutschland. I know New York City.
It's very south,
Okay, fair.
not in the
isn't-
numbered streets.
Okay, that is helpful.
If you guys were to walk, it's going to be like an hour.
Yeah,
to
no,
get
just
there.
phone. I will call your bookstore. Maybe someone is there. We can call
I
someone.
don't. Oh. Yeah,
Do you have a phone?
with you? Yes, of course I have a phone. Can I be in the phone booth with you? It's on the front desk, which is right behind the display window.
How about we just leave the door open? Yeah.
I want to. It's very important. I'm just gonna.
Greta's gonna pull out like a clean handkerchief from her medical bag and put it over the phone receiver and stuff, so it doesn't touch anything.
And I squeeze
Right.
in right by her.
And then
So basically, like you're like my wife in a hotel room.
yeah, sure.
Okay.
Smart.
She's just being very plague conscious. This would be very bad to have hit an extremely populated
Right.
zone.
I'm in the booth with you.
Okay, and we'll call Sabella's bookstore first to see if it's rings or if it's burned down or what,
That's not funny.
Now this is back in the days of the party line switchboard.
Yeah.
So even if you had a phone in your house or a phone in your residence or business, it was usually shared with 3 or 4 other homes and or businesses. But despite all of that, the phone rings and rings and rings and rings.
Well, it's ringing, so that is a good sign.
Now, if you were to guess, this is probably right around 6 in the morning.
Okay,
We're not open that early. I
No.
need my rest.
9. Fair enough.
Who else is going to be running the place?
No one is the problem,
All right, fair enough.
Elijah. You see?
Elijah's trying not to smirk.
I'll let it ring while she goes on her little tangent. Be like, people try a different number. Yeah, that is different number.
What about the meeting building?
What about the, police or hospital? Tell them someone drove by and shot our friend.
I would do that, but we have to be aware of the plague.
Plague.
And if an ambulance just comes and you bring him into a hospital and there's no quarantines, that means everyone in the hospital could get infected, starting with the doctors, which is people who would cure the plague. So that is not the best.
Dwight needs discretion like he needs a hole in the chest. Come on.
Maybe just call the meeting building. Call the meeting building.
I will call the meeting. Like, he's not bleeding out anymore. He will recover. It'll be fine.
Do you all have the number for the Meetum building?
Yeah.
There should be an operator, maybe? Hello, operator. I need to meet some building.
Yes, hello.
Oh, goodness. Well, could you connect me to the Meetum building?
The Meatham building
The
Meetum.
is
Meetum.
Meetum.
Like,
MEADHAM.
the spelling Meatham building. Right away.
And you hear a
okay.
ring, a ring, a ring, a ring,
Why don't
and
people
finally an answer. Hello? Meetum building.
Yeah, hello. This is the meeting building. Yeah, excellent. Where we need to speak with some of Jack.
You need to speak with Jacques?
Jack.
Jack.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't
really-
know no Jacques.
Yeah.
Jack. You got it wide in the mouth.
She'll hold the phone over.
We need to talk to Jack.
Hey, listen, normal operating hours here are 7. They start
It's
coming
really-
in.
It's really urgent.
Well, I can't make anybody
This
be
is,
here that ain't here.
Olympic-sized matter, you could say.
I don't care. There ain't nobody here. I'm the
Are-
night watch guy.
Nobody's there.
Nobody's here.
All right, but somebody will be in at 7?
Usually, that's when they come in. I mean, it's Thursday. It's not the weekend.
The Meetum building is where Caduceus is, right?
Uh-huh. That's where
Okay.
all our stuff is.
Could you, is Einstein there? He normally comes in early for work.
Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
I don't know no Al. Albert Einstein? You sure you got the right place? This is the Meetum building in New York City.
I'm positive this is the right establishment, yeah.
Why don't you call back? I got stuff I have to do. I apologize. Thank
Who
you
is
for
this
calling the
I am
Meetum building.
speaking to? I
This
need your
is-
name.
I will have a great click.
Oh, I will have him fired.
He sounded like somebody else for a second.
Well, this is problematic, I guess. Let's see. I don't even know if there was like Center for Disease Control in 1920.
Excuse me, please, Greta. I'd like to make a few phone calls.
Certainly.
Everybody
The
shuffles.
handkerchief on the phone, and I will exit and be like, all right, quarantine procedures. This.
First thing he's going to do is tell the operator he needs some police. Please.
Police, connecting you to the what precinct, sir? Where are you?
In Central Park, please, darling.
That operator.
Right away.
Hello?
Hello, I'm calling for the police. I have a friend of here of mine who has had a hole shot through his chest. I believe he is bleeding out.
Gunshot victim, you say?
Yes.
Where are you? Where are you?
Central Park, I think near some kind of zoo.
Which side? East, south, northwest? What?
He will give them any buildings or street names he can see nearby.
Yeah, but by looking around, you can see that it's Central Park East. So you're able to direct them. We'll send someone out. Medical attention? Is there an armed perpetrator in the area? Are you currently under distress? Can you tell me say yes if you think your life is currently in danger?
No. Is this your first day? Never mind. I need an ambulance. Thank you much.
Okay. It's maybe 30, 45 seconds later, you start to hear sirens.
And we will walk back. I'll walk back to the zoo and start getting everything ready so I can instruct the people in the ambulance on what to do, because obviously they're just not going to be the most competent people.
Elijah will stay near the phone booth and try to flag them down and get them over
Okay,
here.
so as the expeditionary scout force of the Olympians is now creating a beachhead here in New York City, let's flash back a little bit. What have Dwight and Kate been doing? Because they don't need to just sit there. They can do whatever they'd like.
Kate's just sitting there. No.
Dwight
Go
kind of
ahead.
goes to Kate. Kate, he kind of like motion because he thinks he's dying at this point. He's on deathbed. He's like, Kate, listen, if it's my time, bury me in West Virginia. Put me there, please. He's kind of like, it's okay. I've accepted this a long time ago.
Mr. Burke, shut up. Would you please? It ain't your time. All right. Just lay back and relax. Make yourself comfortable. We're going to have some help for you here real soon. Meanwhile, Kate's looking around just to see how we're like covered from the view potentially of other people walking by, people coming in to work, that sort of thing. She also takes off that serpent gun that she's had on ever since Borneo, puts it back in her bag. She does draw her 45 though, and keeps it low.
Roll a Constitution check for me, please.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite one to roll, you know. Hard success.
Okay, as you grab the serpent gun and start to pull, for a moment, the twin tails don't become as pliable as they were before. They don't give right away. You're able to kind of muscle it a bit, kind of move your arm and pull with your opposite hand to the point where you're able to slip out. But for a moment, when you slip out of the serpent gun, the tails kind of reach for a moment towards your arm again before kind of going lax and twirling back up upon themselves.
Has it left any marks or anything on me?
None that you can see. I mean, there's some pressure marks on there, like, you know, if you had been wearing something, you know, a band that was too tight or, you know,
yeah, none that you can see. Got it. Thanks. Okay, so she puts it away and she draws her 45, keeps it low. But at this point, I'm just keeping my eye on the kind of paths around us and so forth. If anyone starts to get close, I want to know it before they can sneak up on us.
Dwight asked Kate for a cigarette. Can I get a cigarette? Yeah, give me a smoke, Kate.
Well, all right. Hold on a minute. And she just totally ignores him and is trying to secure some kind of a position here as best she can.
You deny that at deathbed.
You are not going to die, Mr. Burke. Shut up.
Well,
Okay, so as Dwight is pleading for a smoke and is denied this
Kate basically steps on
human, me. Right. Yeah, Kate lights one up and blows it in your face. Just Kate, you hear...
Puts it on my forehead.
Right. Kate, you hear something very similar to what Elijah, Sabella, and Greta heard earlier as you hear today's paper, news as you can get it, come here, this way, as you see a boy kind of walking towards the area.
Say more about the area. Is there like a walking path or something of that nature?
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. He's coming down the walking path.
You guys are kind of, if the walking path is traveling, you know, maybe just south of your position, you're on like a bypass, like a U that kind of goes up so you could kind of walk up in and see the rhinoceros. It looks now that the light has come in a little bit that the zoo or whatever it will be here in Central Park is opening up sections at a time. It's not fully functional yet, but it appears that it's opening little places so the citizenry can come up and see kind of what's going on. And even in the distance, you start to see people that are walking through the park, businessmen and women that, you know, have packs under their arms and briefcases and things like that, as the city that never sleeps is getting more and more alert as the dawn breaks.
Mm-hmm. So just kind of crouch down as low as I can and still have some observation over those pathways. Now, Mr. Burke, just be quiet. We don't need any attention over here until the others get back.
You hear the young newsboy as he kind of walks down the path and starts to walk past you. And as you're kind of sitting there crouched down, all of a sudden a paper that is rolled up smacks down right beside and between you and Dwight.
I suppose I'll pick it up and take a look.
It seems very similar to what you the others saw before. It says July 27th, 1933. The headline across the front of it is "The Year Without Summer," but written in what looks to be some type of red ink, It says, courtesy of Bailey.
Like, written how? Like in a big red marker across the whole front of the thing?
It's not as broad as a marker stroke. It almost looks like it's like a ballpoint pen, even though those aren't necessarily in vogue. It's written slightly right at the top by the date, almost as if it's where your eyes would be drawn to look at the date.
Okay. Got it.
Spot didn't know who dropped it.
It was the boy. It was the news carrier. And he's not watching you as he kind of walks further into Central Park.
That doesn't make any damn sense at all. All right. Kate's main goal here is that nobody gets close enough until medical people can arrive to quarantine the two of them. So that's the driver for me right now.
Okay, so as soon as that kind of passes in that moment where you receive the paper, you start to hear the sirens as well, and this is where we'll kind of catch both groups back up. As Elijah, you're able to direct the ambulance and a police cruiser into Central Park, and within moments, you are all greeted by 2 police officers and 2 paramedics as they rush out and kind of are all moving towards Dwight, who has a puddle of blood underneath of him and is lying on the ground.
Just wants a cigarette.
Yeah, if I could have gotten to him before the ambulance and everything got there, she would have started doing a medicine check, like not just a first aid, like an actual giving him medical attention, not just stopping him from dying.
Yeah, sure. Give me a medicine check, and I will definitely put that into play for Dwight's condition.
All right, cool.
Success. Nice, yeah, success. Okay, so you guys are all there. Elijah, you're kind of catching up to them as they drive into the park a bit. You guys, well, just for the sake of narrative, you're all there. What are you going to do as the police and the paramedics descend upon Dwight?
Dr. Von Krause, have you ensured that the proper protocols are going to be followed here? We don't want to take any risk of infection.
I have not been able to do so. 9. The police were called by Svoya. I was trying to get a hold of the meeting building, but no one is there, and very terrible things. But
well, you got just a few seconds then, I think, before this gets out of hand. So, do your thing.
Hello, he has been shot. We have all potentially been exposed to a very deadly plague in Bolivia, and now we are here. So, please take extreme wherever we were.
The other one.
The other
Borneo.
Borneo countries. And we are here. Please exercise extreme caution when dealing with the wounded.
Okay, so the 2 paramedics are dressed all in white, short sleeve shirts. One of them is wearing like a light jacket. Both of the police officers are dressed in very crisp, very navy blue uniforms with the brass buttons on the outside, the banded collars that kind of come up to mid-neck with the hats placed on their head. And as soon as you start talking, as Greta starts talking with a very, very Germanic accent,
German accent.
They put one of the police officers puts his hands out, stopping both paramedics and apparently his partner, as both of the police officers step in front of the paramedics, and slowly their hands drop to their sidearms as they now notice that Kate is also holding what appears to be, or at least has a holster for a 1911. There is a man with a sniper rifle or a very high-powered rifle lying beside him, bleeding, also with a holster. And there are several very odd people, one of them speaking in very heavily accented English. And the police turn towards Greta and say, "What is going on here?"
She's fine. She's a doctor, and she's just trying to give you some information about the situation.
That's not what I asked, ma'am. What is going on here?
I am a doctor. He has been shot elsewhere. We are here.
Why are you all armed?
I
am not. You would be able to see it in this out. I am not.
If Elijah can kind of catch up now, talking to police is one of his fortes.
I'm calling them, apparently.
Normally not, but this time, yes. Now, we were just under fire, friends. We have no ill will towards you. We will completely disarm. No one here is get hurt. We just need help.
What's going on?
Kate's hands are in the air. The 45 is just sort of dangling from her trigger finger. So another not kind of grip to shoot. She says, boys, look, my name's Caitlin O'Callahan. You may have heard of me. We need for you to put us in touch with authorities of the federal government here in New York immediately. This man needs help, and there is some possibility that we've been infected. But this all needs to happen real fast, all right? So get on it.
We are on your side, friends. We're all playing on the same team here.
Okay, I want a luck roll from Kate and a persuasion roll from Elijah, please.
It's a success on the luck roll.
That's a success on the persuasion roll.
Okay, so as the police realize that they're, as bizarre as this is, the words of Elijah seem to calm them a bit, as perhaps it's the time of day. It's the old adage that the police have, that no evil happens at dawn. There's several factors that are kind of playing into all of this. And they seem to still kind of be right on the fence about how they're going to handle this, whether it's going to be something less aggressive or something more aggressive, when one of the paramedics chimes in at a silent moment and says, that is Kate O'Callahan. I've read about her. That's her picture. I've seen it. She's supposed to be dead.
Did I hear that?
Yeah, you heard it.
Did what? Well, I'm obviously not dead. I'm standing right here in front of you. Now get moving.
I just read it in the paper that said she was dead.
This guy is so subtle.
I know.
He's my favorite NPC.
He's like Lauren level subtle right now.
Can we find some way to make him part of the team? I want him.
We adopt him.
Following. I want to him
know
follow
what
us around.
happens to NPCs we adopt.
We need a replacement for Franklin anyway.
Oh,
Franklin
yeah.
too.
Stop.
See how I went around it and you just went straight for it?
Sweetheart, I am so very alive right now, but you are not going to be if you don't get moving. Let's go, boys.
Stop with the threats and the guns. It's not a good way to handle yourself around the boys in blue.
The police that were kind of calming down a bit bristle a bit at the threat that was fired off by Kate, and they say, listen, we're going to need you to drop your guns, put them on the ground, step away from them, step away from the man. And what did the German here say about something with a disease?
That was a plague. This group of people here, we are all potentially infected, so extreme caution should be taken when applying medical attention.
Well, how would you suggest, in your expert medical opinion, he kind of is looking back at the paramedics, that we do this?
Gloves. Lots of sanitation devices. He's loaded onto an ambulance because he probably should not be treated in the field. Having it head straight towards a hospital or remote area or room, something that can be quarantined so as a bunch of people are not infected. Basic standard quarantine procedure.
Okay. You realize you're not talking to a medical professional and someone that probably hasn't dealt with mass plague before. And he kind of looks around, and one of the paramedic that said that he knew who Kate was, the one paramedic looks at the officer and then looks over at the guy that recognized Kate, and he goes, she's right. She's saying the right things.
I am a doctor in multiple fields. I am quite
He's very
knowledgeable
smart.
on the matter.
You see he's starting to pull gloves on, and he puts the one that was speaking to Kate.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
no, it's
saw
Kate.
the mask and gloves on.
Right, and so he puts on a mask, and then you also see that he produces from somewhere a very like a tight-fitting hood that looks like it exposes just the face part of his.
Oh.
And he pulls it on, and he hands one to
need
his
one of
buddy, and
those.
kind of fits it on the buddy, and they disappear into the kind of low-level station wagon-y type of ambulance that they're driving. And they produce a handheld gurney, a wheelless gurney, and they start moving towards. They wait and kind of pause at the police line, and the policeman that had been speaking kind of gives him the nod, and they go over to Dwight and load Dwight onto the stretcher and begin to load him into the ambulance.
Dwight just wants to smoke one cigarette. That's all he wants to do. That's all he's been wanting to do.
Not happening, buddy.
Dwight, now you hang on, friend. As soon as you're better, I'll bring you right back here. We'll find the monkey enclosure and we'll have a heyday.
Greg, does anything just because I'm me, does anything look weird about these guys or any of the stuff that they have on them? The paramedics and the police.
Yeah, you can roll a spot hidden if you want. Are you looking for anything specifically weird about policemen?
Just that it. No, I wouldn't know how to phrase it specifically.
Weird religious eyes or swastikas or anything.
You know, anything.
Yes, looking for swastikas. If any of them look like Joseph Dietrich, right?
No,
Or
I
that-
would recognize him.
Bill
Any
Castile.
just anything off. That's all. Just off. Like they don't look
Okay,
like
well,
they
I tell you this. I will let you roll one of two rolls. You can roll a spot. You can roll a spot hidden. Hey, welcome to the party, pal. I am for you too. NV000. Hey, welcome to the party. You can roll a spot hidden if you're looking for something physically off about them, or you can roll a psychology for something mentally off about them. Metamancer, what a raid! Thank you very much, Meta. I appreciate it. Everybody, welcome to the party. We are in 1933, New York Central Park. The Olympians are here for their season 2 premiere, as they are now talking to the police and the paramedics, trying to figure out when, where, and how they are.
and
Meta,
if these
thank you
people
so
are
much.
Nazis.
Season 2, sassier than ever.
So,
All right,
psychology, if you're looking for something that's off about them, McLogan, thank you, brother. If you're looking for something that's off with them mentally or emotionally, or if they're behaving differently, some behavioral differences, or
I mean, that's what I'm really looking for.
I'll
Okay,
roll
then.
psychology, like if I can.
Oh, are you be suspicious with me? Come be suspicious with me.
you can
I am
absolutely-
paranoid. I'm suspicious of
Okay,
everything.
let's both do it.
Extreme success on my end.
Fumble, but I had a good instinct.
Okay, so as you turn and look at Elijah, and you're like, there is definitely something wrong.
Yeah, I give him
Elijah,
my eyes.
Elijah looks at you. Lady, thank you very much. Elijah, you look back at Sabella. There's nothing off about these people whatsoever. They are textbook cops, textbook paramedics. There is nothing that
they might
kind
be
of spikes
Nazis.
on your meter.
Elijah,
It's about-
Get me
after
away
all
from
we've
him.
After all we've been through, I appreciate the discerning eye. But let
look,
them
all my instincts have been right so far. I was right about Mr. Lancaster when you were all like, la la la, I'm seeing little girls. I don't know what it is. But I was right about Mr.
I'm muted, I'm
Lancaster.
so sorry.
I didn't say anything about Mr. Lancaster. He was a dick.
I'm just saying they could be German or
Then
too
please
old
Terminator, welcome to the party, pal.
or
Zippy,
a
welcome to
waitress
the
in
party, pal.
disguise. They could be any of those things. I'm very good at telling.
Okay.
So just be careful. I'm just watching out for you.
I will be willing to ride with him if there's room.
Well, you don't want to spread your plague if you got it.
Spread your plague.
So nice
so-
having
Just put me in the
another-
ambulance, please.
so nice.
Yes,
Hold on, Dwight. We're having a conversation here.
Yeah, we're having an exchange. We're character developing. It is so nice to just have, another Southern person around here, Elijah. It's really great.
Quite unlike any Southern madam I've ever met.
Thank you.
Okay, so to speed up the narrative, Dwight is going to the hospital. who would like to ride in the ambulance with Dwight, if anyone? And what would the rest of you like to do? I'm assuming you're, is everyone else going to the hospital? We'll be going to St. Joseph's in Midtown. So if you would like to go there, you can go ahead.
Elijah will go check out the bookstore because
you're not. I want to check out the bookstore.
he's willing to trust these paramedics, so he will go with Sabella to the bookstore.
Greta, do you think that we can? I'm sorry, Dr. Von Krause. Do you think that we can go to the bookstore?
I would recommend a quarantine, but perhaps you should just ensure it is not burnt down.
No, I don't want to go there if you're going to be spreading, yell of death around. Okay.
I want to check on your head in the freezer for you.
No, I do too, but I don't want to infect my bookstore. So if it's fine, I don't want to give anyone any cause to burn it down.
Kate gives one of those really, really loud whistles that she's kind of known for. And once she's sure she's got everyone's attention, says, if there is any chance at all that you might be infected, then the last thing you need to be doing is traipsing across Manhattan Island. We need to get to the hospital, make sure that you're not or that you are, and then we'll decide what to do from there.
The good news is that the plague only has a week shelf life.
Fine. No, Elijah, come. Let's go with everyone.
It's been 6 months. She said it only lives for 7 days.
We don't know how long.
I missed my birthday.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
As the paramedics are going by that are putting Dwight into the one that has been speaking the most, he walks by and he goes, "Happy birthday," as he goes by.
My favorite.
I'm upset. I don't want to go to the store if anyone's infected. Can we just go in the ambulance, please?
I'm going to have to recommend that if anybody's this is the police officer, if anybody's carrying the plague or whatever, this Thursday morning at the park by the zoo, let's all go to St. Joe's. Let's just go to St. Joe's, and the docs there will check you out. Maybe check upstairs and every place else just to make sure you're feeling good, you're happy.
Well, I'm sad.
Right?
I've never been happy.
Elijah, that's sad. Now you're just making me sad. Can we go to the hospital, please?
Just take me to the hospital.
Greg, that's your
Can we
That's my
cut
cut?
too?
Okay,
Can we
so
cut too?
we cut to St. Joe's as the Olympians are ushered in via the ambulance travel or going with the police officers in their car. They stay there for the better part of 6 to 7 hours. It is roughly 1:30 in the afternoon on Thursday, July 27th, 1933, when the doctors come in and tell them all that two things. One, Dwight Burke is going to live somehow, despite the bullet wounds that he had suffered. He appears to be made out of steel, some type of hardened cast iron, or something similarly plentiful that it cannot be flesh, blood, and organs, because he is alive. He is in terrible pain, but they gave him several smokes to calm him down, because doctor's orders in 1933 is have a smoke and calm down. It'll make you feel better, and it's good for you. The second thing that they tell you is they can't find any trace of any type of disease that may or may not be related to hepatitis. They were given all the specifics by Dr. Greta Von Krause during the course of these several hours. They did not find any swollen lymph nodes. They did not find any type of pestilence positive. They didn't find anything that kind of reacted to or would react to any type of hepatitis shots. And Greta, as you are listening to this, because of what you saw with the machine at the Caduceus aid station in Borneo, you guys, if you had been carrying this disease, you would have pinged in like white blood cell count. Some of these lab works that had come in would have shown something. And even though this is 1933, I made sure to check. And yes, you can still have that type of infection reading in that short a period of time. Thank you, Google. So you guys have been given a clean bill of health. It is 1:30. What would you like to do? I will recommend this because you're going to have to. There has been a wheelchair provided for Dwight Berg.
Oh.
Greta also would have been hovering over the doctor's attending, like, no, you need to do that better. That you forgot this. Just basically being like the world's most annoying, like,
Yeah,
hover doctor.
Dwight would probably just take Greta's advice. He doesn't really trust doctors.
I'm squinting at Kate. If we got all these results.
And Elijah will push Dwight everywhere we go, telling him sarcastic little quips in his ears and making fun of everyone else.
To the bookstore?
Yes, I do give Dwight a kiss on the forehead because he's so brave. Okay.
Thank you, Miss Ives. I just want a drink. That's all. And a
Eat, drink,
cigarette.
roll. Thank you for the host. Welcome to the party, everybody.
Well, it's not mine, of course. It was Grandpa's, but I do have some things at the bookstore that you can have. Should we go there first? I really want to go there first. I know we should probably go to the meeting building first, but I really want to go to my store first.
Miss Ives, there is nowhere in the world I would rather go right now than your bookstore.
It is so cozy. It better be. Greg, it better be. Yeah, the bookstore.
Can that be that little paramedic's name? Can that be Greg?
Only if you want me to scream it.
Oh my.
GJ.
Right. As you guys are leaving St. Joe's in Midtown Manhattan, you see leaning up against the wall is the paramedic that had responded to the call earlier in Central Park, talking to his friends and a collection of other apparent paramedics that are waiting for calls or have brought people in. And you catch, just as all of you kind of walk out wheeling Dwight Burke, you hear, yeah, and then she said she forgot her birthday.
Does he have a name tag on?
Come on. Do you want us to roll spot hidden?
I would also
No
love to, as we're heading out, I just want to, before we get out into public areas of the hospital, I just want to make sure that there's not some, I don't know, like photographers or reporters or anything like that, especially if they thought I was dead and word gets out that maybe I'm not.
Or mob-looking guys in suits. I'm looking out for them as well.
Okay, so a spot hidden from the wheelchair-bound sniper, a spot hidden from the pilot, and a spot hidden from the con man are all successes, and I will let you know that beyond the aforementioned paramedics, there's no paparazzi, there's no mafioso, there are no albino German snipers that are taking position. It appears to be no Jack.
Kate looks just a little disappointed.
Okay, come on. I will get us a cab.
It's quickly enough, and you're able, after a few minutes of travel, you are back at Ives Esoteric, an antiquarian bookstore. For those of you that are joining us, this is the Ives bookstore located in the Lower East Side of Manhattan and the de facto HQ for the Olympians that you see before you. However, they have not been there for 6 months, having been someplace else. See Season 1 on YouTube.
Is it there?
Yeah, it seems to be open.
What? I push everyone out of the way and I run inside. Nope.
Okay,
I'm running right behind with my hand on my sidearm.
Okay, so as you push people out of the way, Dwight kind of scoots a little bit on his wheelchair as you push him out of the way. And run up the steps into the 2 to 3 steps into Ives Esoteric Antiquarian Bookstore. You click open the familiar handle of the door, throw open one of the double doors, and rush inside. And you are greeted with a "Welcome to Ives Antiquarian Esoteric Antiquarian Bookstore. How can I help you?" Sabella?
Oh my God.
There, standing behind the front desk, is one Syl Jefferson.
I'm through the door right behind as well.
You bump into me because I
Uh-huh.
stopped.
Yeah, I totally do. Bam.
What is going on? I missed my birthday. Is the store okay?
Sil, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
She's alive.
Well, we're all alive.
I mean, yes.
What?
We all thought you were dead. Except
Sil,
for Jack.
who's we?
Jack?
Me and Professor Einstein and Tom and Jack. We all thought you were dead.
How are you in the store, Sil? You know, I had a bright idea of asking you to be in the store, but you are here in the store.
Jack hired me right after you left.
Oh, Jack.
Back in March.
Oh, I missed that Stetson. Do you have a number for him?
He's here.
Where is he, Sil?
He's upstairs in your bedroom, Miss Ives.
That's weird. All right. I'm not listening. I am hopping over the desk because the door to the stairs is behind it. I literally hop over and I start running. I know I'm very good at things. Like listening and throwing and scooting.
And hopping. I'm not even going to make you roll. That was an expert hop.
I'm as close behind as I can be.
As they were having reunions, could I have just gone in and opened the icebox?
Yes, you're able to walk in and you go into the kitchen, up and into the kitchen, and you open the icebox and you see no head.
I sadly closed the icebox. That's it.
Elijah's ramming the wheelchair against the 2 or 3 steps you mentioned, trying to get Dwight into the building.
And then I'll go help Elijah get Dwight in the building.
Right. It takes a little bit, and you guys are able to get it. Right. Yeah, Jack's hopped up on morphine, or Dwight's hopped up on morphine, and just leave me.
Bring on the sanity rolls, buddy.
Right.
We're easing into it, man.
Okay, so you guys are able to get Dwight up into the main floor of the esoteric and antiquarian bookstore. You couldn't get him up into the second floor because that's kind of a narrow staircase, and nothing is handicap accessible here in 1933, unfortunately.
I'll work on it later.
Right. Well, it's just not code right now. But anyway, you're able to get upstairs. You go into your bedroom. It's much like you remember it being, Sabella, other than the fact that Jack is asleep in the bed, and he seems to be lying very still. The bed isn't disturbed around him. The blankets are tucked like around his chest as he's just kind of laying on his back.
Okay, 2 questions. Is his hat on?
No.
Oh, is it in the room?
You can look around.
Okay, let me look around real quick. I want to surprise him. Okay, hold on. Oh, come on.
Yeah, you can't find it.
Ugh, that's really annoying. Kate, can you find his hat real quick?
Miss Ives, what are you looking for?
Just get his hat.
That is something the Olympians would do. They really would stop to go try to
Damn
find
it.
Sorry.
No, you don't know where the hell his hat is.
Fine, I jump on him.
Can't see it from downstairs.
I jump on him.
You jump on him?
Yes.
Okay, you shaking him or?
Yeah.
No response. His eyes are open though.
Oh.
Sabella, what's going on?
I think something's wrong with Jack. Is he breathing?
You see in the doorway, Sil kind of comes up. He's been like this for a couple days. Ever since the others were here.
Sil, the others, who's that?
There was a married couple. They were here. Talk with Jack and Einstein. They left though.
Did they do this to him?
Grant, put that in chat, buddy. I can't read it. Whatever you just donated. Thank you for the donation, brother. What was the question? What did they do?
Did they do this to him? I'm asking Sil.
Sil looks and she looks around as if she's trying to find somebody to explain this for her, but knowing that there's no one else here, she says, he got bad, Miss Ives. He didn't know where he was. I had an uncle like that once. He got old and thought I was his sister. Jack was remembering different things. That's what Dr. Einstein said. He said he was remembering different things and he was under a lot of stress. But he got quiet as soon as the others left, and we just put him here.
Huh. His eyes are open. Has he made any kind of response?
No. He hasn't eaten for over a day.
Kate looks to Sabella and obviously concerned, but then says, Sabella, I'm going to go call Dr. Einstein and see if we can find out what's going on here.
All
right.
He's gone. He's gone.
Gone where, Sil?
Professor Einstein, he lives here. He's not here.
Where is he?
I don't know. He didn't tell me. Tom's gone. Professor Einstein's gone. They told me tomorrow was my last day. But now you're here.
Sil Jefferson, I can almost guarantee you that tomorrow is not your last day.
You see relief go across her face as it's obvious that this is a very important job, a very important means for her survival in the city of New York.
Oh, she can stay here forever. So Jack's eyes are open?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I can take these off, which is so nice. Can I try to do a reading on Jack?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. He's completely at your mercy.
Oh,
But
don't
let's cut
say
back
it
down.
like that.
But as you're deciding what to do, let's cut back down to the people that are on the ground floor of
We
the
are
Ives.
wrecking shit.
You're wrecking
It's a
shit?
party down here. Yeah.
I blow up people's heads. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are down on the main floor. Greta, Elijah, and Dwight, even though your capacity is limited, what are you all doing at this particular moment?
Well, there's no
Taking a look into that back room that we first went into the first time we all met here, seeing if anyone's here. If no one's here, he's keeping Dwight company and keeping an eye out the front door.
Dwight
as
probably
you go-
wants to go lay down.
Well, no one's taking you anywhere, so you're going to be sitting. Right.
I'm there. I'm just wasting space.
Elijah, as you are able to go back into the back, it is not locked with the series of locks that Miss Ives had on it before, and it is open, but when you open it up and walk in, it is still unfurnished as it was before. However, in the middle of the room, there are several, it looks like mail and packages that seem to have been stacked as if being collected here.
He makes mental note of it, and we'll return to the others.
I want to look at some of those packages.
Okay.
Opening other people's mail is a federal offense.
Yes, I'm very new to this country.
Can Dwight get up? Can I actually stand?
I hope there's not a trap. That would be terrible.
Dwight, if you want to roll a Constitution check, you can surely try to stand up.
She
for me.
mostly just wants to see who they're addressed to and who they're from.
I'm tough.
Yes, somehow with that hard success, almost an extreme success, Dwight stands up, goes over, and lights his own cigarette as he's somehow leaning against the front desk,
Yeah,
the wheelchair
Dwight.
abandoned
Yeah, Dwight
behind him.
starts looking for liquor bottles, and you know what I mean. Anything he can just, ease the pain.
There's no smoking in the store.
He's already smoking.
Greta, roll a spot hidden for me if you are indeed looking at the mail.
I am looking at the mail. This is gonna go great. Oh, it actually did go pretty great.
Nice.
Look at that. As you are looking through, you see that there is biggest of the packages, which is about a shoebox size, is written and from by the return address somewhere in Europe by an L. Ives.
By an L. Ives. And Europe. Like, this is more familiar. Interesting. Okay. Nothing other really interesting packages. Nothing. Just, yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of bills. There
Oh.
is a letter from Caduceus. There is, well, you can tell just because it's got the I symbol up in the return postage corner. There is also a menu from what appears to be a cafe in one of the boroughs.
Okay. What kind of food is it?
Looks like it's Italian.
Italian.
Okay. Yeah, I figured. That's fine. That's cool. All right, and a package from Europe. L. Ives. All right. Yeah, she'll pick up the three interesting pieces. The menu.
Are you
letter.
opening them or there's no one around?
There isn't anyone around. Just Lauren.
Greta,
well-
you better share with the rest of the class. If you're opening up in the package, you better bring some out here for Dwight.
Oh, we can all each open something. It will be great. Here's a menu. Does this look familiar?
What was on the menu?
Lots of Italian food, it seems.
You wouldn't recognize this as Elijah Sawyer, but as Daryl Lecht, you do in fact recognize this as Phil Castillo's uncle's cafe in Brooklyn.
It doesn't have a date it was dropped off or anything, does it?
No.
Which does
This is very, very time sensitive. I cannot understate that. I cannot state that enough. This is very, very, very important.
Do we all see the letter?
Ruby Foster's always number one, and this is like 1.5. It's very important we go eat Italian food.
Yeah, I'm totally checking him. I'm psychologying the shit out of Sawyer.
Okay, so at
Well,
this point, just to
I
put
know,
a
but I
position
wanna-
on everybody.
Yeah, Dwight's like, who? The guy on fire? We need to go see?
Yeah,
Did not like him at all.
that's why we need to see him.
Yeah, Dwight's yelling this from the front of the store as you guys are in the back of the store. So Greta and Elijah are in the back in the psychometry room. Upstairs we have Jack, Syl, Sabella, and Kate. Dwight, you are by the front door, correct?
Yeah, spot hidden.
Yeah. Yeah, we were probably working our way up the stairs because I said I'd give
Stream.
everyone something to open.
Despite your morphine-addled brain, you are able to turn, and just as you kind of sense something approaching, you turn to the front door, and there's that. Does the bookstore have a little bell on it, or is it not that pretentious?
Of course it is.
It is
Okay.
that pretentious.
Have you
So-
seen the name?
Right. So a little bell goes off, and it's like a high bell, like a ding 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 ding. And as you turn around, you see an attractive man, probably of Italian descent, slicked back black hair, wearing an impeccable suit. No tie though. The collar's open a bit, which is a little bit apropos. But he turns and looks at you, and you recognize immediately the handsome visage of one Phil Castillo. Oh,
Can Elijah still be yelling about Phil Castillo?
sure, yeah. And
It is
We gotta
very
go
important
see
we
this guy
go there.
right now. This is time sensitive. We need to go to Castiles. Y'all need to listen to me.
And then Dwight's like, the burning guy on fire?
Thank you.
so, yeah,
Dwight kind of fucking squares his eyes up. What in the fuck are you doing here, man?
whoa. I'm walking in a bookstore. This is a public place, correct? Christ. Hey, calm down there, soldier boy.
Does
don't
Dwight
want
have
you
a
to
gun
pass
around
out
him
and fall
anywhere that
over
he
or
could?
nothing.
You know, Dwight would probably automatically look for a gun if he has to use it. Even though he knows it has no effect on him.
Right. He immediately realizes what you're doing, and he looks and he narrows his own eyes, and a curl takes the left side of his face, and he goes, "Really? Really? You're looking for a gun? I mean, how many times you got to shoot me, kid, before you realize that shit ain't gonna work, right? Listen, I'll burn this place to the fucking ground. We both know it. It's a threat that I can keep. I'm not here for that.
What do you need?
What do you think I need? Watch your fucking tone. Lect! Yo, Daryl, where the fuck you at? As I yell,
That
the
is
kids
the
are still
man
awake.
of the hour.
Oh,
Greta's just.
Dwight guy just narrows at him.
Greta will follow Elijah out. She's gonna kind of be opening that letter from Caduceus while we're going.
Okay, Greta does not follow him out and she stays back.
Yeah.
Good, perfect. Okay, I just want to know where you are. Okay, as Elijah is coming out of the
I
back,
want to be like right around the corner so I can hear what's going on while I'm like opening this letter up.
Phil saddles directly up against the position on the front desk, right beside Dwight. And he kind of almost shoulder to shoulder, like trying to be uncomfortably close, trying to make Dwight move away from him as he sits there, and he kind of looks over at him and he goes, "See, there's my friend. My friend's coming to talk to me. Do you mind about that, soldier boy? You gonna punch me, or we gonna little bare knuckle fight in, something like that, kind of spice up this Thursday afternoon, something like that." And as Elijah comes around the corner, he moves towards Elijah.
Soldier boy, are you giving my friend a rough time?
He pulls right up in front of Elijah and leans in and kisses both of his cheeks. And he says, "Hey, Daryl, fuck, man, we thought you were dead. And when we think someone's dead, hey, spoiler alert, they're usually dead. Like we usually did it. But wow, here you are. Months later, you're alive. Congratulations. That's going to make the rounds. How you doing?"
You are as well informed as I would expect you to be. Yes, I was dead, but now I'm not. I got better. Here we are, back in New York for 6 hours. And you are the man we were just talking about.
Right. Yeah, you went to St. Joe's, right? Got some medical attention there. Yeah, that's popped up. Boom. Made it to our ears.
Yes, this group is the U.S. government for... To give you the quick synopsis, they think I'm a man named Elijah Sawyer, and I did need to get this man from bleeding out. And I knew you would find me. Right as always, wasn't I?
It looks like you got him just in the nick of fucking time there, Daryl. He looks back over at Dwight. Yeah, I wouldn't go sneezing around this guy, you know what I mean? He's looking a little ready to fall over. Anywho.
Shell shock from the war, I'm sure.
Right. So, where's the rest of your friends? Where's the doc, the driver, that crazy wheel woman that somehow got away from me down at the docks?
I would have paid good money to see that, Phil.
It was something. I ain't gonna lie.
They are about, I am sure. Though I tend not to try to mix groups of friends. These are co-workers, after all. You are more
friends,
family.
right?
Dwight gets done. Show. What do you want is more important.
you need to shut your fucking mouth. Now, I don't care how sick you look or you're about ready to push over. I'm about ready to push you over. And you know I can do it. I am talking with this man and you're interrupting him. Don't interrupt him again, soldier boy. You hear me?
So he kind of grumbles, and he's in like no shape to fight this guy. But he's like, "Yeah, I get what you're saying, but all that outside, you would die quickly with all that fucking fire, bud."
That's the big thing, that isn't it? All that fucking fire. Well, if only. I guess we'll never know. Now shut the fuck up.
We'll
Daryl.
see.
Daryl, you coming to see us? I know it's only been
Right
6
now.
hours. I heard you yelling, which is a good thing. I was about ready to make things hot in here, but I heard you yelling that you were going to come and see me, and you couldn't possibly know I was coming, which is nice, which is good. That bought you an afternoon.
I know that you know things, and I know the first person in New York who'd want to see me would be you. I will go with you right now, actually.
We are the second people that want to see you, my friend. You guys have been gone for a while, huh?
I believe you know something I do not.
Oh, I know a shit ton that you don't know. Now, normally, I'm going to give you this, Daryl. Normally, you know more than I do. And this is one of those moments that you wait for in life when, you know, you got the kid that you always beats the shit out of you on the block, and the one time you get him, you remember it, and you kind of put the feather in your cap and remember that for the rest of your fucking life. Well, I'm remembering this because this is the time that I know more than you do. And, yeah, we're looking for you, but you guys got a fan club. Big fan club.
And I suppose I could always call on a favor from the family, some help for my coworkers and I.
Hey, look at me. I'm here, right? Let's cut over to Greta as she is opening the caduceus letter. And Greta, as you open the caduceus letter, it simply states that the Caduceus Foundation, and then the address of the Meadham Building in Manhattan, is severing all ties with any governmental agency, including that of Project Athena, one Jack Kilgrave, and the administration of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, effective April 1st, 1933. You are muted.
Ha! This is interesting. She's gonna take the envelope and put it in her pocket and just have the letter out. And there's a box too, right?
You're gonna fucking open the box.
There is a box about a shoebox size.
Lindy, do not open my box.
Is how heavy is the box?
Couple pounds.
Okay, shake it just a little bit. Like, what's it sound like?
There's a slide thunk, slide thunk, slide thunk inside.
Okay. All right. Guys, this is so tempting, but I think she'd hold off.
Okay.
She's going to come. I think she's going to come around the corner. She's gonna have her hand like in her pocket, but it's totally on her hypo syringe because she knows that Phil guy is here. Stupid Castile, dude.
Okay, let us cut back up to the upstairs with Sabella, Kate, and Syl Jefferson. Having not heard the entrance of Phil Castillo as of this moment, you guys are currently looking at Jack and searching around the room. Sabella, since you are actively on Jack or moving Jack around, you do notice that there is something clutched in his hand.
Well, I'm gonna get it.
You get it and you pull it out, and it seems to be a strip of paper, roughly torn. Thank you, Mike. Roughly torn from what looks to be a ledger of some kind, and there seems to be something handwritten on it.
What does it say?
It says, "Why, sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast."
Oh no. Does
Love it.
Okay. I don't need to write that quote. I know that quote. Does it? I don't know if I've ever seen Jack's handwriting before.
Yeah, you would have, because you would have seen him write something on the board before whenever he was giving you guys a briefing before Kate took over.
Okay. Does it look like his handwriting?
Make an intelligence roll for me.
Okay. Okay. It likes to do that to me.
You can't tell.
All right.
Kate is there as well, though, so I will allow it if she would like to try to.
I mean, I'll show it to her. Does that look like Jack's?
Well, that's curious.
Is this my curiouser and curiouser?
That's exactly what I was thinking, Sabella. No.
Like us to do those.
You can't. It could be. You're not sure.
What's the ledger?
It appears to be torn out of some type of ledger. It looks like a bound book. It's not lined because they weren't necessarily lined back then, but it looks like pre-cut because around one of the corners it's rounded a bit, and then it seems to be torn off. So it doesn't look like a regular sheet of paper.
Is he taking up my whole bed? Can I sit?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's very still. He's not moving.
Okay. I'm just trying to act like this is just totally normal and routine. I just throw off my gloves. And, I think I want to do that paper first. And I want it, before I do anything, I want to check the pocket watch and see if it's still purple and 3-dimensional.
Okay, so you crack open the pocket watch first?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good.
As soon as you open it, it kind of expands, almost like a kid's pop-up book. And as you open it, this 3-dimensional purple, holographic almost, if those such things words were used at this time, but it looks like the moving of watch piece is done in a 3-dimensional space. And as you click it closed again, it seems to, just like a kid's book, it collapses in on itself.
It's my favorite color.
Could I see that? Because I don't think I've seen that before.
You just saw it.
Yeah, okay. Well,
oh, that's good. Yeah, that you can see it too. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I could see it, right, Greg?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know why that makes me feel better, but it does.
What? Sabella, what was that?
Oh, that's Ruby's pocket watch.
That's Ruby's? From the doorway, Sill's watching.
Yeah. Yes. We used it to help find her. We found her. There's so much I want to do right now, Sill, and catching up is on the list. But I want to help Jack. I want to see where this paper is from. So I'm just going to put this back in my pocket. And can you guys turn around, please?
Sill immediately turns around, yeah.
Thank you, Sill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Can I do just, possibly have heard something from downstairs at this point?
Yeah, I'll let you roll a listen check, because I was going to just in a second whenever she got involved in what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
No luck.
Nothing. So you're going to go ahead and do a reading for us?
Yes, Greg.
Let's get it.
Okay. Oh, hi, Greg.
Bam.
Okay, so as you slip into the comfortable walls of Ives Esoteric and Antiquarian Bookstore, you feel more at home and more focused. Your powers seem to be more finely tuned and sharpened, perhaps, since your time in both Bolivia and Borneo. And as you take the paper and you look at it, you are gifted with that point of view sight that you kind of experience where you know who it was that wrote this, and you see them as if you're them, but you also get the ability to recognize the face of the person that you are viewing through their own eyes. And you see Thomas Mueller writing the quote down.
Does he seem in his right state of mind?
No.
Oh. Where is he?
He seems to be in the very room that you are in. His face is much thinner than you remember. His eyes are sunken and dark. They are bloodshot. His hands are thin. The veins in them are very pronounced, as if he is exhibiting signs of extreme dehydration and malnutrition. His clothes are hanging off of him, and you see him write the quote, fold it, and tuck it into the clenched fist of Jack.
Do I have any sense of how long ago this was?
Less than 24 hours.
Okay. Come out of it. I hope I wasn't too noisy. Or I probably was, because I'm in my happy place, and that's why you couldn't hear anything going on downstairs. Katie?
Yeah. What, Sabella?
So I think something's wrong with Professor Mueller. He was here and he wrote this quote down and he stuffed it in Jack's hand, and he did not look good at all.
Do you have any idea when that was?
Yesterday, 24 hours.
Sil, has Dr. Mueller been here in the last 24 hours?
No, he's been gone for over a week.
But he was here.
I did not see him.
Is the window ajar at all? Is it cracked? Is it open?
You want to go over and check?
Yes. Or do you want to check?
I'd already be on the way over to check.
Okay, you get over and the window is indeed open. It appears that there's some type of like a greenish dust that is over the sill of the window. But as you look out, you see two things. You see several cars pull up in front of Ives Esoterian and Antiquarian Bookstore, and several suited men get out as they are heading towards the front door. But not before you see what looks like a little old man and a teenager, a dark-skinned teenager walking up the steps, and they are entering the facility or entering the shop just as these cars kind of pull up. So let's cut back down to the front of the store as we have both Elijah, Greta now returning from the back, and Dwight as they are positioned in the front of the store. The door ding, 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 dings again as Professor Einstein walks in with a teenager. I would like Greta, Elijah with advantage, and Dwight to all roll idea or intelligence rolls for me, please.
Sure. Hard success.
Elijah's a little preoccupied right now.
Yeah.
Success.
Okay, so Elijah, narratively, this goes down with the impossibility of the moment is kind of short-circuiting your brain as you kind of disregard Phil Castillo as he's still talking to you, and he realizes that you're preoccupied, and even he turns around as these two new people walk in, and you guys recognize Professor Einstein as he is standing there. And Greta and Dwight, it takes you a moment, and you realize that Claire Foster just walked in with him. But she seems younger than what she looked like before. She seems maybe 10 years younger than from where you saw her, at least several years younger.
Does she look like Ruby?
That's it. Now you're
She
able to
looks
see
like Ruby.
it.
Yeah.
It's Claire, but it's Ruby. And Professor Einstein turns and looks at everyone and sees you all there, and his smile kind of underneath the bushy mustache, and his hair's wild as he turns and he says, "Oh, you all remember Ruby? Ruby's here. I brought her. Fulfilled my promise. She's here. You are here. That means that they did it. Just like Jack said." And there's another ding at the door. Ding, 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 ding. As two of the suited men walk in and kind of stand, and one of them, ever so stereotypically, cracks his neck. One of them is wearing mirrored shades that seem very pretentious, but he's wearing them nonetheless. And Phil Castillo kind of saddles up right beside, shoulder to shoulder with Elijah, and he leans over and he says, "See, Daryl, I'm not the most interested party. Here, these assholes." And then he turns and looks at you, and fire dances in his pupils, and he says, "What do you say? One for old time's sake?" And that's where we'll end it tonight for our season premiere of Pulp Cthulhu's Project Athena. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. As I go to Allison, what do you think?
Wow. I'm so glad to be back. I've missed y'all so much. And despite all of the bizarre irrationality of this thing, I have missed 1933. And I've missed all of y'all that have that tuned in to watch us tonight. Thanks so much for being a part of this and for playing along. Grant, not cool, man. That's all I'm saying. Not cool. And I love you anyway. Until next week, you can find me on Twitter. Yeah, that's where I am most of the time. At Allison Robinson, 2 L's and a Y. Catch me on the God's Fall podcast. New episodes dropping weekly now as we move toward the end of season 4. And on WonderQuest as well. New episode dropping Wednesday, I think. We've got a lot getting ready to happen there in the WonderQuest world. Cast, thanks so much. Love you all. Greg, you too. See you next week.
Awesome. And yes, Grant, I wanted to give this its proper due. So next week we will open with Grant and his goons taking it to the Olympians. Lauren, season premiere, what'd you think?
I'm so happy to be back. I'm just so happy. I just want to keep going like all night, but it's fine. It's fine. I am Lauren. I'm at Salty Ginger on Twitter. I am going to be on 6 and 20 Metropolis on Video Store Cowboys channel on Tuesday at, what the heck time is it? 8 p.m. Eastern. That sounds right. Be there. I play something weird. Just come check it out. It's like superheroes in disguise, noir-y stuff. Just come watch while I process this right now.
Nice. Yes, that was perfectly summed up. That is exactly what City of Mist is. You know way more about it than I do, as I am simply pushing buttons at this point.
I roll real well there too.
Do you really? Well, it's good. I'm glad. Let's go to our infirmed sniper, Dwight Burke. Steven, what'd you think?
I feel like a dog with 3 legs. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna whatever whatever goes down, it goes down. You know, I'm there, and it's a battle, so I'll fight it out if it is what it is. But you know, hopefully you have mercy if you do, and, and have have it out. That's what's going to happen apparently. Because Grant, I don't, you know, Grant, he did something. I don't know what Grant did, but thank you, Grant.
Listen, I will let you know this, that Grant and I go to the Cobra Kai school of DMing. Mercy is for the weak. We do not train to be merciful here.
Well, listen, I'm the Karate Kid, so we'll see.
Sweep the healer.
Right, exactly. And with that, let us go to our resident con man, Strider, Elijah. Season premiere, what'd you think?
Oh, tremendous. We are done with Borneo, which is the terrible, awful side quest DLC mission that you have to do to progress the story, but you die because you're underleveled. Now we are back home. It feels right. And I want everyone listening, even if you only have 30 seconds, to open up Paint, make fan art of Lil Geege, the paramedic. He is my new favorite character. I will be starting the new, soon-to-be trending hashtag Lil Geege, Geeg, please. But no, seriously, great way to kick it back off. Season 2 is, there's so many compounding variables all at once. I have no idea what's going to happen. And I do know I'm going to be right here next week, same time.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. And over to Lindy. Lindy, back from half a world away to go back in time to 1933. How'd Greta do?
So much time travel. I am jet lagged. I am confused. But boy, was this fun. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on except that we're going to fight next week. And I am not a fighter in this one. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to burn things. I'm not Vashka. I'm Greta. So I don't know what we're going to do next week. It'll be fun. And hopefully the bookstore survives. But yeah, I can't wait for next week. Can't wait. But you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff. You can find me here every Sunday for the most awesome Pulp Cthulhu game ever. On Tuesdays, Tentacles podcast is released, and I'm playing a character with this guy. And then I'll get the next day on Wednesday, I'm playing more Call of Cthulhu with this guy on Encounter Roleplays channel. And then on my own channel, I do Twitch, D&D, and video games, all that stuff. So
Awesome. You've said it all, Lindy. And what I would add to this is thank you all very much. Grant, thank you for the donation, brother. Next week, I'll do you proud as I prep these goons to make sure that the Olympians are welcomed back to 1933 in true bad boy Grant fashion. Also, thanks to Metamancer for the great raid. Thanks to everybody for the raids. Thanks to everybody for the hosts, all the new followers. Thank you so much. Zippy, thank you guys so much for showing up and cheering us on here for our season premiere. Very much appreciated. Love it. As for me, you can see me tomorrow night on Reign of Terror, the French Revolution Cthulhu campaign over on Encounter Roleplay, 4:30 to 7:30 Eastern, Tomes and Tentacles, and on Saturday nights, D&D on Learn by Play, D&D channel. Let's see, what is it? 6 to 9 on Saturdays. Other than that, we'll be back here next week. In the next 7 days, we're all going to be stuck in 2018. Let's get through it. And let's all meet back here in 1933 next Sunday. Thanks so much, guys. And from us to all of you, good night.